The NCAA Outdoor Championships are over, and if you were paying very close attention, then you should have noticed that the champion in the men's 200-meter dash is now Carly Makarawu of the University of Kentucky. But if you were also watching the race, you should have noticed that the announcers were pretty shocked when he actually got the victory. One reason is because he was out in lane 9, and the other is because a lot of people were focused on Jordan Anthony of the University of Arkansas, who actually got 4th in that race. But if you're asking me, I had Carly Makarawu to win that race a year ago, and they're the reason. Because he was the #1 recruit. No, I didn't say the #1 sprint recruit. The #1 recruit in all of junior college, and it really wasn't that close. That is why I gave him a 99 overall rating, and he validated it by going to the Olympic Games in Paris, representing Zimbabwe, and then making the 200-meter final. So when he came back to college this year, now competing in the SEC, I wasn't shocked when he won the NCAA Indoor Championship, but he did deal with injuries outdoors, which is the only reason why he didn't quite look like the favorite until we got to that final race. The truth is that all the coaches at the top programs in D1 don't really care at all where the talent is. They just want to know how to find it, hopefully a lot of it. And if those athletes happen to be in junior college, they will recruit at that level, which is why I developed recruit rankings for all the top athletes across the entire nation in every event. I do it at the high school level, and the national re-rank is coming out soon. But because the junior college athletes finished their season much earlier, the re-rank for them is already done. And now I can tell you who the best junior college recruits actually are on both the men's and the women's sides. After everything I've already said, I shouldn't have to tell you this part, but I'm gonna say it anyway. If you are one of the best at that level, you likely have a shot to win it all in Division 1. And of course, go on to the world stage and prove yourself once again. So this is a breakdown of the top recruits on both the men's and the women's sides in all of junior college. I do have to admit that if you compete for a California-based junior college, you will not be on this list. And going forward for all the ranking lists that will be recalculated for 2025, I decided to rework my scale, essentially to make it perhaps a little bit more strict. Because if you are a 5-star recruit, it should be incredibly hard to pull it off. Simply put, my list is not dictating reality. The goal is to reflect it. So if I give you a 5-star, it's because everybody knows that you are the real deal. When it comes to the most elite 5-star recruits on the men's side this past season, I'm only going to give you 2 names. The first is Shamar Reed, who is a thrower who represented South Plains College. He won the shot put and the discus at the outdoor JUCO national meet, but also won the shot put indoors. Simply put, nobody can throw with him at that level. It's why he received a 92 overall rating on my scale, and it's why I also expect him to dominate at the Division 1 level as soon as he gets there. But there is another name that I have to shout out. But if you're new here, I want to say thank you for even making it this far into the video. And I'm Coach Rob, the founder of SCARecruiting.com, where I rank the best track and field recruits across the entire nation. And if anything that I say actually connects with you, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe. But if I don't, just let me know in the comment section, because I try to read them all. The #1 recruit in all of junior college is a 95 overall rating on my scale. It's Bubble McPherson, who competed for New Mexico Junior College in 2025. Ironically, it's the same school that also gave us Carly Makarawu, but in his case, he also competes for Jamaica. At the JUCO national meet indoors, he broke the national record. Again, nobody has run that fast in a junior college uniform indoors in the 400, but he also ran the fastest outdoor 400 in 2025 and made the JUCO national finals indoors and outdoors in the 200. Just saying. The reality of high-level recruiting is that college coaches don't just care about whether you win. They want to know how fast you can go when you do it. And because of what Bubble McPherson has already put down on the clock up until now, everyone also knows that he can likely do it again at the next level, which is why he's committed to compete for Texas Tech. Keep in mind, Olympians like Vernon Norwood and Fred Curley all competed at the junior college level, and we know what those men can do in the 400. So when Bubble McPherson takes down a national record for that level. It actually means something. Moving on to the women's side, Cedrica Williams of Barton County was the best thrower in all of junior college. That's why she won the discus outdoors, and that is her event. But she still finished third in multiple other throws. She's a 91 overall rating on my scale and committed to Baylor. But arguably, the #1 recruit on the women's side across all of JUCO is actually a freshman, Maimuna Jallo, who competed for Cloud County Community College. The simplest way I can explain it is like this. She swept the sprints, both indoors and outdoors, in the 60 and the 200, and then in the 100 and the 200. Nobody was getting in first, as long as she was on the track in a junior college championship meet. That makes her the best sprinter, and yes, the best recruit. But we likely won't see her at the D1 level for another year. But if I were a high-level coach with a scholarship, I'd be lining up to call her right now. With the changing landscape of the NCAA, junior college is going to fit into a very unique place going forward. Because in the past, when you ran in junior college, you were using college eligibility. And it does look like going forward, there's a chance that most of the athletes who come from there will be able to maintain all of their NCAA eligibility even after competing in junior college. Again, I don't really know how all that works, but the more I study about it, it's looking like that's the way things are trending. But what likely won't change much is who the best track and field programs actually are at that level. On the men's side, New Mexico Junior College, as well as South Plains College, both had 15 recruits who cracked my top 250, and Iowa Western Community College was not far off behind them. They had 14 ranked recruits this year. The next closest program to all of them was Indian Hills Community College, and ironically, that is the exact same order that all of these programs finished when they showed up to the JUCO National Meet outdoors. On the women's side, New Mexico Junior College really separated themselves because they had 17 ranked recruits on my list. Nobody else in the nation had more than 10, but Iowa Western Community College did have exactly that number and still figured out how to beat them at the national championship meet, which is why we actually go out there and run the races. You can view the full ranking list for both the men's and the women's sides on SCArecruiting.com, or just click the link in the description below. Remember, there are lists for all the high school classes as well, but a national re-rank will be coming out soon this summer for all of them, including a release for the first time for the class of 2028. But no matter what class you're actually in, we already know what the best coaches in D1 are looking for. Carly Makarawu of Kentucky is proof of it, because they just want to win, and they don't care where the talent is, and they will put in the work to find it. Hopefully, a lot of it. Actually made it all the way to the end of this video. I do have to admit that thank you doesn't do it justice anymore, because you are a real one. And if you want more from me beyond this video, on SCArecruiting.com, you can get a ton of resources, like my free recruiting guide, online courses, and much more, including the option to meet with me one-on-one, where my specialty is helping you figure out which schools might actually be the best fit for you. And if nothing else, and you really just want to see more content like this, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe.